What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I'm just going to jump right into it. So, Palmer was an absolute blast. I had so much fun there. Literally the most technical track I've been on. Late apexes everywhere, uphills, downhills, little S's. Just it was awesome. And I'm sure there's going to be other tracks that I'm going to say the same about. But for me, up to date, this has got to be, top two, top three. And so I'm psyched for Global Time Attack because that's right around the corner. I think it's about 3.5 weeks away from now, on July 3rd and 4th of 2021. So me being a little extra, remember I told you guys that this car's been smoking? So I decided to get into it and check it. And this is what I found. So I've always thought that it had something to do with my PCV system, which still recirculates back to the intake manifold. So I figured I was burning some type of oil vapor, or maybe some oil was getting sucked up into there, and that's why I would smoke. But I decided to do a compression test and a leak down test. The last time I did a compression test was right before I took the car for a tune, and that was a little over a year ago. Just about, yeah. I think I did it in June as well. Anyways, I redid the compression test. I had 220 pounds in cylinder 1, 180 pounds in cylinder 2, 220 in cylinder 3, and 240 in cylinder 4. Now, the last time I did the compression test, I had somewhere around 230-ish, 240, in that range. So the motor was in a lot better shape. So I know now my issue is with cylinder 2. So what it was, I'm not too sure. So after I did the leak down test, I found out I'm leaking about 35% into my exhaust side. So it could be a valve lash issue, could be a burnt valve, could be a bent valve. Either way, I'm not happy with how all 4 cylinders are not near what they were last year. So I'm pulling the head out. And I'm most likely going to end up doing some valves and some other stuff. But this is going to be a little mini series on my road to Global Time Attack because I've missed it 2 years in a row. I refuse to let this be my 3rd year. And I need to get this car there. I doubt I'm going to be competitive at all because those guys are super fast and have some amazingly built cars. But I'm going to give it my best. But for me to give it my best, the car needs to be at its best. And I'm going to start this now. All right, so one of the first things I did was obviously I had to remove the bumper and the splitter. Now I'm draining all the coolant. Got to drain the coolant. Then obviously while I'm waiting for that to drain, I'm take out my intake pipe, my strut tower bar, valve cover, exhaust manifold, all the good stuff. And then I get into the goods underneath the valve cover. And then I'll check all the valve lash and stuff before I pull everything, just to make sure we're A-okay. All right, so I finally got the cylinder head off. The head is off, as you can see. Head is off. Cylinder walls look okay. There's some rubbing here. I got to throw the dial bore indicator in there, make sure everything's okay. But yeah, for the most part, you can see pretty sure my oil burning issue was due to my PCV valve going back to my intake manifold, which would cause some issues. So now moving over to the cylinder head. Cylinder head, I took it all apart. Everything mechanically looked sound, but I do have significant leakage out of cylinder 2. I was able to check that by taking some brake fluid and spraying it in it. And as a matter of fact, I'll set the camera up and I'll do that now, just to show you. So I took out all the valve train, the cams, the rockers, everything that would move my valves up or down. So right now, all my valves should be closed, which they are. So to check if I have any vents in them or if there's any leakage from any of the valves, what I'm doing is taking some CRC brake clean and I'm just spraying it inside the port. And if you look, it's starting to leak out of the port here and here. So I know that I'm leaking from these 2 valves, my exhaust valves. Now, if I do it on cylinder 1 and 3, I also have leakage. So apparently I had 6 bent valves that I had no idea about. So just as a reference of what a good one should look like, I'm gonna spray into cylinder 4, which is good. And you'll see nothing drips out of cylinder 4. Let me move this out of here. Nothing drips out the way it's dripping out of cylinder 2. So I can literally dry this off. Let me get a rag to dry that. And you'll see it start to drip all over again. See it starting to come right out. Yep. So that's how I know I have bent valves here, because these do the same. Not as fast, but they do drip. Now I can take out all the valves, and then I can start cleaning out all the ports. All right, all the valve train is out, meaning valves, springs, retainers, keepers, that's all out now. Pretty much a bare head. Now I gotta pull out the stem seals, and then I gotta clean up this head really nice. The intake side's kind of nice, looks good, because I was sucking in a lot of oil because of that PCV, but the exhaust side's a little crusty. Maybe if I have time, I'll take it to a machine shop for them to hot tank it, but I don't know because I'm really tight on time. But yeah, guys, this is it. I'm gonna end this episode here. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be reposting up another one soon as far as part 2 of my road to global time attack.